All right. Ian, audio coming up in 3, 2, 1. You're live.
Welcome to the show. Kat, how you doing there in Austin, Texas? How was your 4th of July?
It was good. I did not go to the Jaws event. I did not sit in the water. Like
I was going to say, I'm glad that you're still here. The Jaws didn't get you. So that's great. Yeah, I see your, I hear more than I see your Instagram, but I hear that you were with Fastball this weekend, I think.
Yeah, they played a show kind of out by where I live, and it was so packed. You should go to my Instagram. Cat is on the radio, and you can see it was insane, and it was really, really fun, and they sounded great. So
yeah, if you want to see what backstage looks like every weekend, check out Kat's Instagram. Cat is on the radio, or with our upcoming special guest today, Howard, the dancing man. He's at every show. I think he's got you out. He's got you beat, Kat.
Yeah, I think he probably has better access than I have. So I am like bowing to Howard.
Yes. Well, I can't wait to talk to him. But first, I wanted to give a quick shout out to my baby brother, the youngest of 3 in the Higgins family here. It's his birthday today. And I just got to tell, in case he's listening, I remember you, Jamie. His name is Jamie. I remember him running around with nothing on but a salad bowl on the top of his head and a towel for a cape. And I would chase him around the yard with sticks, and I would chase him up into the tree. Happy birthday, Jamie.
You were a real nice brother, weren't you?
All right. I'm still nice. I just embarrassed him on radio.
So when you show up at his house with a salad bowl and a towel and a stick tonight,
what else?
Does he have
run, Jamie?
Run, Jamie. Up the tree again.
That's right.
This last weekend, I also wanted to mention, I went out to the Honor Bar with my mom. She's on vacation. So we did a little staycation, and I joined her at the Honor Bar out there in Montecito. And I love doing this. I love catching or talking about staff that does it right. When they take care of you the right way, they should be mentioned. Everybody out there complains about their bad service or if somebody wronged them. I don't have time for that in life. I want to talk about the people that do it right. So Tamara, and she did it with a roll. Tamara, I might have done it right there. Radic. She's a singer and a songwriter. I got to know her a little bit, but she was just an awesome server at the Honor Bar. So thank you, Tamara. Go to honorbar.com, locations, Montecito, and go say hi to the staff out there. They really do it right. Okay, so let's get to the weekend past. 4th of July weekend. For me, this was the highlight of my 4th of July. I had an invite by our friend Ivor Davis, who wrote the best-selling book, The Beatles and Me on Tour. He was invited, one of the only journalists, I think the only journalist invited with the Beatles on their North American tour, their very first North American tour. He wrote a book about it. And then last Saturday, the Ensemble Theater Company presented Come Together, a celebratory concert of Beatles classics. And we just opened the show with the whole group singing Across the Universe. It was just beautiful. That was taken. I took that from the Come Together. I recorded that on my little iPhone. Again, Come Together, a celebratory concert of Beatles classics. It's sponsored by Janet and Mark L. Goldenson, and the Ensemble Theater Company's Director of Education and Outreach, Brian McDonald, is with us here now. He's taking a break from rehearsals on the next show upcoming. Hey, Brian, welcome to the Jeremiah Show, and thank you so much for a beautiful concert this weekend.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So tell us a little bit about the concert. Well,
we're so excited to finally get to do something together in person and have a perform in front of an audience. With such great music and great musicians. We 6 students, and it was just a lot of fun. Sold out house. It was outdoors, of course, at Ealing Park, and at Godric Grove up there. It's just a beautiful, beautiful day. So I'm so glad that you enjoyed it and were able to join us for that.
Yeah, had so much fun. And I wanted to thank Ivor Davis again for inviting us. But yeah, we took the family, we had a picnic up there. And like you said, I think underline live music. That's the first live music I have seen in about 2 years. And it was just it was just so much fun with the Beatles music, and everybody was so great. Do you want to mention a couple of the musicians for us? A couple of the names. I know Hunter I talked to, and I talked to Ben, but there's a couple more.
Yeah, Brian Band, who toured with Kenny Loggins. He was our musical director. He brought in Randy Tico and what's his name? David Zier, I think is how I say his name. And Craig, his last name is slipping. But, the student, Ben Catch was one of them. He's an up-and-coming singer-songwriter, and some other students from our programs, Daniel Brackett, who I've known since he was 9, and he's now at Elon getting ready to graduate from their musical theater program there. I think he's going to head to New York and do really, really well.
Yeah.
And Cassidy Broderick, another up-and-coming Santa Barbara student who participated. She was the youngest of our group. She was 15. So a lot of this stuff, even though she didn't quite know it was the Beatles, she had heard of it, but it wasn't as familiar, with a lot of these songs as we were. Yeah. As you mentioned, Hunter and who else? Emerson Steady and McKenna Gemberling. They're all just so incredibly gifted, and it was such a joy to work with them. It was a benefit, raising money for our education and outreach programs. And as you mentioned, here I am. The concert was on Saturday. I had off on Sunday, and I started working with the kids on Monday. And we're doing these, theater camps and having a grand old time. And then we do a public performance at the theater a week from Saturday.
Wow. You're just back to back to back. I'm actually going to, at the commercial break, give out all the information on the shows for this year, 21-22 season. But tell us how people can help you right now, Brian. What do you need, and how can they help? And what's next? What's the name of it?
Right now we are doing really, we just announced our season for next year with it's a 5-show season. There's a lot of variety in that. We're opening with Linda Pearl, Jason Graw in a musical called Tenderly, which is a Rosemary Clooney musical.
I'm looking forward to that. That looks really good. That looks great.
Yeah. And then what's next? Let me think. We're doing a Wickham's Christmas, which is a sequel to the Christmas in Pemberley that we had done a couple of years ago, a Jane Austen thing. It was wildly popular, and people just loved it. So we're doing the second version of that. And then we have the musical Carmen Jones, which is a jazz version of that piece, followed by American Son, which we had slated, for our season that we had that was canceled, of course, because of COVID. So that's coming back, and that's a real intense drama dealing with racial issues and very timely. And then finally, we close out the season with a really fun, wacky comedy called Sleuth. So the best thing is to get out there, go online, and purchase a subscription, which we have available now. And then in September, we'll open up the season for sales of single tickets. But honestly, best way to support the theater, the best way to get the best deal is to subscribe.
Yeah, and you can do that at etcsb.org. Brian McDonald, he is the Director of Education and Outreach. Brian, good luck with the show this weekend. Break a leg. Again, it's the Ensemble Theater Company. Great stuff happening there. We're going to give out more information at the commercial break. And so once again, thank you to the Ensemble Theater Company, Ivor Davidson, and Brian, McDonald, and all the people there that help you make it work. It was a really good time. Great 4th of July. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks so much for taking the time and for your support. We really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. We're going to be right back with, you may be asking yourself, who is the dancing man? We're going to tell you right after this quick break. We'll be right back.
This is where you want that piece.
Yes. Yes, sir.
You got it.
Thank you, Brian. If he's not already gone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, stand by.
Howard, are you ready for your Santa Barbara radio debut? We're going to have some fun with Howard here.
Okay.
My new buddy. We've been hanging out the last couple of days.
All right, stand by. In 3, 2, 1, you're live.
Oh, can we stop for a second? I'm sorry. Did you guys, this may have happened already. Did you guys all, Kat, did you introduce yourself to Howard and Dr. D? Howard, do you know everybody here? Dr. D is a sound engineer, so he's going to give us a couple signals when we're doing the show for the commercials. 2 minutes would be 2 minutes to commercial break, 1 minute, and then 30 seconds, just so we don't interrupt you if you're in the middle of a great story, which I'm sure there's going to be plenty of. And Kat is my co-host there as well.
Hello.
Austin, Texas. So she brings us all the musicians from Austin and around there, that area. And then Howard, you're down in LA and you are the dancing man. LA rocker. I like LA rocker too. That's pretty cool. All right. So now you know everybody. I didn't want to just jump right in without, I don't think we did the introductions properly in the beginning there. Okay. I'm ready. Sorry, Dr. D.
No problem. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, you're live.
Welcome back to the show. Who, you may ask, is the dancing man?
A little ominous there.
It's the dancing man. It sounds like a legend, this legendary. Who is the dancing man?
Oh, wow. Excellent.
You need to go to YouTube. I know you're listening on radio or a podcast, but you need to go to YouTube because he just showed himself.
That's right.
He has not spoke yet, but he
let's see.
All right. So that's a good question. Who is the dancing man? All right, here we go. Here we go.
Go ahead.
On a Sunday, not too long ago, a text message came in from Senior Vice President of Golden Voice Concert Promotions, our good friend Moss Jacobs. It was a simple link to the LA Times article written by staff writer Randall Roberts. It was titled, "Concerts Are Back," which means one thing: the return of LA's one and only dancing man. All right, so I'm intrigued. So I see this, and that's all that Moss sent. He just sends me the link. He didn't need. He's a man of few words. He's booking many great bands at the Hollywood Bowl and everywhere else. But he wanted us to know who the dancing man was, and we're gonna find out this hour because we finally got him on the show. It's been about a month. But it just really I think it underscored that Moss was excited because he could finally book live music again at the Santa Barbara Bowl, at the El Rey, at the Greek, and all these places that Golden Voice Promotions puts live bands and live music out there. And it meant that Howard could go back to his love in life, which is live music. Howard Mordoh, a 69-year-old retired clinical laboratory scientist from Los Angeles, California, who is quite possibly the world's biggest concert enthusiast. He has been featured in LA Weekly, Buzz Bands, LA Times, and the list goes on. And PBS Shorts recently made a documentary about him, The Dancing Man of LA, directed by Jennifer Fodor and Scott Shepard. The 25-minute film, the production of which started long before anyone knew a virus would transform nightlife or live music, premiered Monday of last week on the PBS app and the YouTube. Don't I sound young? Don't I sound young? I'm so hip.
You want to say www. The
YouTube? Okay. I knew you've been thinking about that since last time I made fun of you.
I haven't let that go.
Well, on the YouTube right now, my face is getting pretty bright red, it looks like. Anyway, on YouTube, the film's The Dancing Man of LA. It was on PBS and it is on YouTube now. It's a part of the acclaimed independent Lens series. So known to countless Southern California concert goers as Front Row Mordoh, the dancing man, has attended many thousands of gigs since the early 1970s. At the Forum, the Mint, the Wiltern, the Roxy, the Greek, Hollywood Bowl, Santa Barbara Bowl, and beyond. The list goes on and on. If they've got a venue and there's a band, he is there, and he's usually up at the front dancing. He's ruled the aisles and the dance floors at all of these venues. His husband, Ken Warren, who long ago retired from being Mordoh's plus one, says in the documentary that he once calculated that Howard had spent more than $40,000 in just 1 year on tickets. Last month, he's already spent $10,000. He's up and rolling again and dancing in the aisles. There's a quote, Howard, that I really I'm gonna get to you right now. But there's a quote that was made famous by John Steinbeck, but also by one of our old co-hosts, Carolyn Peacock. She just loved this quote, and when I saw the documentary and after I've talked to you a couple times, I thought this quote is you. This quote out of East of Eden. It goes like this. He was born in fury and he lived in lightning. He came headlong into life. He was a giant in joy and enthusiasm. He didn't discover the world and its people. He created them. He lived in the world shining and fresh and uninspected as Eden on the sixth day. His mind plunged like a colt in a happy pasture. And when later the world put up fences, he plunged against the wire. And when the final stockade surrounded him, he plunged right through it and out. And as he was capable of giant joy, so did he harbor huge sorrow. That's from John Steinbeck, East of Eden. And I thought it might have captured a little bit of who Howard is here. We're going to find out, though, from the man himself, Howard Mordoh. And if you're looking for a symbol, this is from that quote from that article from LA Times. If you're looking for a symbol that the concert business is roaring back to life, check Howard's updated calendar because it is, and we love it. Welcome, Howard. Unfortunately, I got to take a break. Let's take that break so we can go straight into it. Say hello if you wouldn't mind, and let the listeners know that you really exist. This is the Dancing Man, Howard Mordoh. We'll be right back after this break.
All right, stand by.
Howard, am I saying your last name correctly?
Spelling it or saying it?
Saying it.
Howard Mordoh.
Yeah, okay, good.
He's got it.
I got it. I always want to check, and I forgot to do that before we started.
Okay.
I think you might have said Jen's name wrong.
I think I did too. I think I had it right the first time, and then I messed it up the second time.
Okay.
In my mind.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. You're live.
Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. We are so excited to have a very special guest on the show today, Howard Mordoh, the Dancing Man. He's also goes by LA Rocker and Front Row Mordoh. Welcome, Howard. How are you?
Oh, it's been one of those mornings. I'm telling you, one thing after another.
Well, you're in a safe house now. You're in a little family, and just forget about all that. There's nothing else out there, right?
I actually put some meditation music on before because I was so out of sorts because Santa Barbara Bowl and the Amundsen were messing with me. It's like I already paid last year, and then they wanted me to pay again this year, and I was on the phone. I was on hold with them, and I was listening to meditation music, and then it was time to start this. So I can't take it.
You're like, concert tickets or radio? Which one do I do?
Well, I mean, you guys were ready for me. So, I can always call back later. I'll probably be on hold for an hour.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. So you lost your
pandemic. Everything takes forever now.
Well, just call up
if you want to talk to a real person.
I know. And you know what keeps happening to me on the line is I keep getting charged for things that I've already canceled. So there's no more real people out there. I don't think. I think they're all bots. They've all got our credit cards and they're just going to charge it. Well, Howard, you just need to call up Moss. Go direct.
I just called the Santa Barbara Bowl because
Moss is listening.
Last year for John Legend, and they said they sent me the tickets, but I couldn't find them anywhere. And it's in. And it's like,
Well, I
and
think
the whole system is different now. They don't give real tickets out. Everything is digital. I hate that. I want the real ticket, you know?
Mhm.
yeah.
I've got a thing at home with a box full of tickets. I made like a floral arrangement with my ticket stubs.
Yeah.
How many shows do you think? So now you're listener, you're getting a little insight, you're getting an idea of who Howard the Dancing Man is. His concern right now are digital
It's
tickets.
first
And what's
world, right?
yes, it's first. No, it's
First world
this
problems.
you are. It's all of this is your life. I love it. And you defined it better than I could in any sort of intro.
When I start to get stressed out about stuff, I say, look, these are stupid one, you know, it's like I'm not in the third world. I'm here. I can go to these shows. Why am I stressing out over stupid little stuff? I'm going to still end up at the show. I might have to work a little harder, like to get tickets, like I think Kat mentioned earlier. I have better connections. No, I just work really hard to get my tickets. I'm there at 10 a.m. when things go on sale. I'm checking pre-sale codes. I'm calling the county bowl. I mean, I really work hard, but then I'm retired. So what else have I got to do besides sleep and eat? And
Well, I
now
think
it's
you
like,
have your priorities straight, personally.
yeah,
Howard, how many shows have you been to, do you think, over all these years since the 70s? Have you ever tried to guess?
no, it's like, it's really hard to tell you. In the beginning, it was like, I was going to school at UCLA, then I was camping out, then I would leave. I would skip my chemistry class to go get tickets for Led Zeppelin at the Forum. Chemistry did not compare with getting tickets for Led Zeppelin. I'm sorry, no, not a thought in my head.
You probably learned more in that line at Led Zeppelin than you would in chemistry class. Chemistry teachers, do not email me. Howard, where'd you get those sweet moves of yours?
What's that?
Where'd you get those sweet moves?
Well, in the documentary, you could see, I mean, watch other people dance. And my sister and I used to watch those shows, American Bandstand, Soul Train, and we would try to figure out what they were doing, you know. But it just kind of evolved. Even I remember when I was in junior high school, they had a dance in the gym, and they had a dance in the gym, right? And I learned my first dance. It was called the Surfer Stomp, and it went like this. Guy, it was kind of like 1 foot over the other, like.
Howard's dancing for us now.
In a kilt. Oh
In a
my
kilt.
gosh, precious. Woo!
Oh, the famous spin, the
spin.
famous dancing man spin.
Anyway.
We got.
That was awesome. Thank you for that.
Let's give him a let's
Yes,
give him a
That
little
was,
clap
yes,
here.
you've inspired me.
And when I get stressed out, this is my motto.
Yes.
When in
I saw
doubt,
that
dance
in
it
the
out.
documentary.
There you
I
go.
love that.
There you go.
By the way, listeners, you got to check that documentary out. I put it out there this morning. Like I said, have a cup of coffee. It's 25 minutes and watch it, you know, in the morning or before you go to bed. You need things to make you smile. And this one definitely does that. In 25 minutes, the filmmakers, how did I mispronounce Jennifer's name? Correct me, Howard.
It's Jennifer Fedor.
Okay, Fedor. The filmmakers put together a really neat 25-minute documentary on the Dancing Man. Howard, our special guest today. And it really has everything. It has the music, it has the highs, the ups and downs, the drama, it really tugs at the heartstrings for sure. And so it's great. It's really great to check out. Doesn't take that much time. I know nobody has any time anymore. So this is perfect. Was there a particular act that you borrowed your signature spin from, Howard, when you watched American Bandstand and Soul Train with your sister?
It just kind of evolved, you know. It's like, it's hard to remember where the origins. I think my movements have changed over the years. It's funny when you watch the documentary, my dad's dancing with the Italian neighbor. Yeah. And my Italian neighbor, he does a spin.
I
and
know.
That was basically my spin. I go, oh my God, I learned it from the neighbor.
I noticed that when I watched that, I was like, maybe that's where he got it.
Right. And so
I love
close to that family.
You talk about, learning to dancing right from the beginning as early as you can remember, and that it was a power that moved your feet. Where do you think that power came from or comes from now?
Where it comes from now, power naps. And a good outlet. I started hiking. I'll talk about that later too. It's another story. But for now, all I can say is, and I just turned 70, not 80. I mean, my friend sent me this card.
It says congratulations on turning 80. He's holding up a card from his
I'm
friend.
only 70.
Do you want to call out that friend here on the radio? Go ahead for calling you 80. If you want to put his name out there, that's fine. I love that you mentioned your father and your sister were both drummers, and you're such a dancer, and you just feel the beat. There must be a percussionist in your blood and all in your family's blood.
Yeah, it's like when somebody described my dancing once, say I'm right on cue when the music is going. I can always catch the beat with my dancing, and it makes me feel good to do that. And I try to dance to almost anything. You know, like they talk on American Idol. You can sing the phone book. Well, I can dance the phone book. It's all freestyle, you know? There's a video of me dancing with Charo above my head at the Hollywood Bowl to Bolero.
Oh, wow.
And that was so much fun because I improvised and someone got that on and sent it to me on video. And it's one of my favorite videos of me dancing to Bolero, because like, who's going to dance a Bolero? No one. But I like to be challenged because it's one of the fun things to do, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've got to check you out on TikTok, by the way. Speaking of dancing, you do a lot of great moves there on TikTok. So if you want to be like Howard and emulate the dancing, man, learn some new dance moves, check out Howard's TikTok.
I'm just learning TikTok.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. I haven't learned it myself. In fact, you got me to sign up for TikTok today, Howard, just so I could get to your page for the first time. So thank you, I guess. I need one more social
until I asked you, and then you found out and told it back to me.
That's funny. I'm like, you're asking me.
The blind leading the blind.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we can be blind. We just need to hear the music and dance. Dance, baby, dance.
That's the beautiful thing.
That's the beautiful thing.
Yeah. Finished the story about when I was in the gym and I was doing the Surfer Stomp. Well, that's the first time I got any kind of notoriety, because I started doing that move. And then all of a sudden there was a crowd of people surrounding me and I was in the middle. And that was the first time I noticed, oh, I must be doing something good because everybody's watching me, and they made a big circle around me to dance in the middle, you know. And that's that was my first thing, I guess, of the first thing of fame was being in the LA Times for being first in line for Paul McCartney and Wings, holding up my 6 front row center tickets.
That's right.
That's
right.
Hey, guess what? It's breakdance time. At the break here, Howard, you can dance. We're going to take a real quick commercial break. We're going to dance with Howard right now, and we encourage. Right now? Yeah, if you'd like to, if the power moves your feet, Howard, do it. It's
here's a song that
and everybody
when I got married, it was the perfect song to play at my wedding reception, which was really just me and the judge and his wife at a fancy restaurant. And they piped us through. I got to have the song Mated because it's so much about us. So here's a little bit of Mated, the correct version.
Yeah, we're playing that on the radio here as well. We'll be right back with more of Howard the Dancing Man. Great. So I got to read the commercial, or Kat and I are going to read a commercial for the first break.
You want to just do it at the end?
Yeah, when he's done dancing, hopefully he comes, or we can just shut off.
Yay! So good.
The dancing man.
I wasn't sure.
That was perfect.
So we're going to do a commercial here, Howard, real quick here.
Okay.
Let me find it. Kat, we're going to do this because it's our first break, right?
No, this is second break.
This is second break.
Yeah, I was getting him do this a lot, and I wasn't sure if I should stop talking.
Yeah, when we get to there, you probably want to wrap it just a little bit. But yeah, here you don't have to worry too much. Here,
it's 1 minute and.
Okay, you want me to do it after? You want me to read it after we're done? Or?
We can do it now. Let's just get it in.
But it goes into that first commercial break. The last two were his.
Okay. I'll put it in the first commercial break.
for
Yeah.
the video.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Howard, we're just going to record something that is just kind of on the side. We're just going to use this break time just to record something. So
Okay.
you can just hang tight.
So we're reading that commercial for the Ensemble Theater Company. You have that, Kat? Okay, cool.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, you're live.
The Ensemble Theater Company. Ensemble Theater Company presents important new plays and innovative interpretations of classic works for a broad audience. The Ensemble Theater Company engages audience with entertaining and let me do that again. The ETC engages audience with entertaining, compelling, and thought-provoking theatrical productions. It develops the community's knowledge and appreciation of live stage productions and offers a range of educational programs for young people.
The 2021-22 season is hot. I'm going to tell you about a few things that are coming down the pike. First, Tenderly, the Rosemary Clooney musical, the remarkably personal and poignant bio musical of the legendary song stylist, featuring a live on-stage band. The show presents beloved songs, including Hey There, You with the Stars in Your Eyes, also Tenderly and Come On to My House. This is starring Linda Pearl and Jason Gray. Next up, we have the Wickhams, Christmas at Pemberley. So this is a part 2 of the Christmas at Pemberley trilogy. In this new riff of Pride and Prejudice, Darcy and Elizabeth must now contend with hijinks amongst the staff, all while preparing for the family to visit. Next up, we have Carmen Jones. This is Oscar Hammerstein adapted this beloved opera into an African-American Broadway musical. The classical story of the bewitching Carmen is set in 1943 at a parachute factory with all of Bizet's famous music. We have a couple additional shows after that. We have a American Son, and then topping it off with a wacky kind of fun piece called Sleuth. To check out the full lineup, please go to etcsb.org to check it out.
Cool. Good job.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was a lot. Sorry about that. I gave you too many
That's
words. All right, we're coming back with Howard when Dr.
All
D
right.
counts us down.
That's right. All right. Here we go.
Howard, and we're playing in 2 commercial breaks. We're playing your documentary, that one we talked about, that 1 minute ad for the doc. So we'll get some viewers on that, hopefully.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Just here.
I'm sorry we had to lose your place and hold.
What?
You're on mute.
Maybe we should.
He's on mute.
Yes,
There we
I'm muted. Sorry, now I'm unmuted.
We're gonna. I think we should call Moss live on this show right now and get you to the front of the line on the
And
tickets.
let's peer pressure.
Yeah.
Let's
pressure,
use
right.
peer pressure and get Howard just some lifetime tickets.
Yeah. You mentioned in the documentary, Howard, maybe the person that puts on the shows will give me some tickets. I was thinking,
Yeah,
Moss, are you listening?
I actually talked to the main guy from Golden Voice, and he told me because of the pandemic, nobody's getting free tickets for anything.
Mhm.
There's no ego, no free tickets. So we kind of
Yeah, but eventually I think they need to give you
Would
the
be nice.
golden ticket around your neck for everything, everywhere you go.
It's funny you
I don't know
mentioned
anybody
Moss
that's seen as many shows as you have.
Okay.
Okay.
When you mentioned Moss Jacobs' name, it reminds me of the time I got kicked out of the county bowl.
Maybe that's why you haven't got any free tickets from Moss, huh? I don't
need
know
to
that.
talk about that story.
You heard about that story?
No,
No,
I'm
we
saying
haven't.
maybe we should tell that story.
I don't know. They'll hate me if I tell you this.
Yeah, it's best to probably let them forget about it.
All right. Here we go.
At least they paid me for the tickets because we ended
All
up
right.
having everybody I was with, we had to leave because I got so upset of what happened anyway.
Yeah.
That
We
they
have-
at least paid for the tickets,
And we have one more break to go.
Okay.
In 3,
Yep.
2, 1, you're live.
Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. We're talking with the dancing man. It's Howard Mordoh, a 69. Well, now he's 70. Just turned 70. He's a retired clinical laboratory scientist from Los Angeles, California. who has been defined as quite possibly the world's biggest concert enthusiast. Welcome back to the show, Howard. Good to have
Hello
you.
again.
Yes. So you danced. I hope everybody out there, by the way, on the break did a little dance with you wherever you're at. Do you like people to dance with you?
Of course, it's like the energy. I let the energy out and then it comes back at me. And I love that feeling of being able to, the give and the getting it back at you.
Yeah.
To you.
Yeah.
Somebody told me once, if I could, boy, Howard, you'd make a fortune if you could bottle what you have that you send out to other people and get them up to dance. I go, that's true. I see it all the time. It's hard though. You don't want the ego to get in the way, because then I start watching the people more watching me. Oh, I said that in the documentary. I hate repeating myself. Maybe it's just because I'm getting old. I keep saying the same thing.
Mhm.
I worry about that a little bit.
Mhm.
Oh, whatever. I'm doing okay. As long as I'm paying the bills on time.
As long as you get those concert tickets, not digital
long as I
though.
don't miss a
Paper,
show.
not
I know.
digital. Why do you think you love music, and particularly live music, so much? What is it that this has been your whole life? All the shows. I mean, you go to shows 5-6 nights a week.
Yeah, I was doing that for a while. Sometimes, because I could squeeze two shows in the same night. In LA, you can do that easily. If it's a late show at a club and an early show at the Greek Theater, it's real easy. But I mean, not for a normal person who said, no, one thing is enough. Not for me. I'm all energized from one. I'm ready to go to the other. And I remember seeing Prince at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, and it didn't end till 4:30 in the morning. And I'm driving home, the sun's coming up, and I'm singing 1999.
Yeah.
And I went straight to work, to the lab, and I didn't get any sleep. But the energy was I was so wound up from that energy. It lasted the whole day. Well, maybe by lunchtime, I started to peter out a little. But I was going to work at 5 a.m. then. So that, to me, it was perfect timing.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like that feel of the after effects of the live music.
So it's a rush.
It's like when I go to Coachella, the first day and a half, it's like, it's torture. I'm a wreck. I can barely get back. I sit in the car and I feel my age, Every time I move, it's like, that hurts, I barely make it all back to the hotel I'm at. And then by the third day, I'm already getting sad that it's over, and I come home exhausted, but this energy is still in me, because it's such a beautiful place. It gets really, really hot, but the surroundings, beautiful Purple Mountains, and they light up all the palm trees. I mean, if you can handle the heat, it's really it's kind of magical, because I guess it's it was originally an
Indian Wells. Yeah. Yeah. I love staying out there. It's beautiful out there. So beautiful.
I just feel the magic when I go, especially if I'm there early and I get on that grass and there's hardly anybody there yet,
Mhm.
It's just a great feeling.
I have a question from a scientist perspective, because that was a big part of your life when you're not at a show. Have you ever sort of wondered, or is it obvious what chemical is actually pulsing through your brain? I mean, because you keep saying it's the energy, but also there has to also be a chemical component. It's probably what, like serotonin or oxytocin or dopamine, and then like those endorphins. I just think it would be so interesting to literally do a blood test on you while you're at a concert, and then also do a blood test on you when you're not. Do you know what I mean? Just from a scientific perspective, see what is happening in that body of yours, because you have sustained this for your lifetime. You don't seem to be slowing down. It seems to be really kind of hardwired into who you are. So I just would be really curious to see that just from a very, cerebral place of like, what's happening in that body,
I wish I knew. I'm glad it's happening, and the body's keeping up with the mind, which still thinks I'm 27.
Yeah.
I look at my friends and they're, it's hard to see people deteriorating in your old age.
Yeah. Well, you're lucky.
All right, we're going to take a real quick break. This is our final break, and then we've got Howard all to ourselves. He is the dancing man. He's a LA rocker. He is front row Mordoh. I'm going to set the question up for you, Howard, and then you can answer it on the other side of the commercial. But this is a big part of life. It's affected all of us the last year and a half or so. The pandemic. So last March, as the pandemic was ravaging the world of live music, the world in general, all of our lives, affecting all of us, nightlife was shutting down. And you, Howard, who always has a full calendar of live events, you looked at that calendar and it started to look very, very empty. Let's talk about that on the flip side. We'll see you. We'll be right back after this quick break. We got to talk about your songs too. We don't have a lot. We have about 14 minutes left. You doing all right there, Howard?
What?
You doing good on time?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. It's fine. I don't.
At 2:00, your power nap time, right?
I don't have any restrictions today. No, I didn't get my power nap today. I was going to pick up my fluff and fold, and and then I got involved with.
Fluff and fold's the only way to
used
go.
do that. I know. I used to do that. It's not really like a Texas thing. That's more of a, yeah.
How we
What is
looking,
that?
D? Should we?
Let me just move this over here. Okay.
I'm not sure when I'm talking whether it's going out or not. I mean, you're recording everything, so.
Oh
All
yeah.
of their videos getting recorded. So folks watching the YouTube
The YouTube.
The Google.
get to see all of this. Howard, I do have a question. How do I connect with you on Instagram? What is your handle on Instagram? Do you know?
Yeah, I got it on the. It's in the promo, Cat. We need to read all those out too.
It's funny, I can't even remember myself.
I've
Okay,
got.
that's
It's
okay.
so new to me.
It's.
Yeah.
I'll get it for you right here. Let me go to it. It's in our promo folder. Social media. Okay,
perfect.
so yeah, it's Dan.
Dancing LA Rocker.
Yeah, Dancing LA Rocker on Instagram.
Okay,
It's
good.
on TikTok. It's at Howard LA Rocker, and Facebook is LA.rocker.7. But I'll read all those out when we come back.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Perfect.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1, you're live.
Hey, go find Howard. You got to check out some of these videos. He really does have the moves. So on Facebook, you can find him at Facebook LA.rocker.7. On Instagram at Dancing LA Rocker, all one word, and on TikTok at Howard LA Rocker. Cat?
Actually, on Facebook, you just go to Facebook and just type in LA space rocker, and it should come up.
Yeah, your
Wow.
handle's got a .7 on it, but I'm sure they'll find it if they do that. You're right. Okay, so
I
let's.
don't know about the .7. Who put a .7 on my name?
I don't know. Is that your lucky number or what? No.
I have no idea.
All right,
Now
let's.
those things are coming back. I'm kind of worried that, God, I've got all these shows coming out, and I'm not in shape yet. I mean, I danced a Cool and Gang for an hour, and it almost killed me. I was like, I had to sit down.
Well, hey, I can see a Howard, the Dancing Man or LA Rocker
Workout video?
workout video. Yeah,
It's like
I can see that.
they've made me the emissary of things coming back to life and concerts, and no, I can't be the emissary. It's like that means they're always going to expect me to be dancing constantly for 2 hours, and I'm not in that good a shape yet.
Well,
Well,
you're going to be
you'll
pretty
get there.
quick. You'll
Are
get
we
there
back
pretty
yet, Richard,
quickly.
or no?
Yeah.
Oh, we're back. Okay. So Richard's looking. I don't know. We're just having great conversation here. I don't care if there's a commercial.
What commercial?
I don't know what commercial. All these commercials.
Richard's the commercial.
Let me. So I set it up before the break there, Howard. I mean, for you, your life is going out and talking to all these people and the family at the Hollywood Bowl, all the people that love to dance with you and the bands that love to look out in the audience and see you supporting them. I mean, a lot of big names, all of them know you. They know, they look at you for that energy that you're bringing, not only in the crowds, but for them as they're performing. So now last March, COVID takes us all down. It takes live music down. It's just decimated. It's gone. And it's just barely now coming back. So I love the symbolism that, when Howard's back out, that means live music's back out, and you're an indicator. But how did that feel when you saw and it explores a little bit in the documentary. At first you're optimistic, and then as the time wears on and you start visiting the Greek theater, the doors, the gates at the Hollywood Bowl, the El Rey, Troubadour, all these, Viper Room, you're at the door and you're shaking it and you just want to get back in. What happened? Tell us a little bit about what happened.
That was
for you.
Boy, thank God the documentary, because we'd already been working on the documentary for like a year, and then the pandemic hit. And thank God those guys got Jen and Scott got me out of the house. Look, we're going to do this today. We're going to hit all the venues, because they all had different signs on the marquees, and you're going to go dance at them all. I said, okay. And we spent hours. And one day it was so hot. It was like, by the time we finished, it was like 95 degrees, almost 100. And I was a wreck. But, it got me out. Otherwise, I would have been sitting in the house getting depressed. And there's just so much I can watch on YouTube.
Did you get depressed?
Yeah, really sad. And I'd wake up screaming some morning because I'd be sleeping too much, and my muscles would all get tight, and it was horrible. Thank God I had talked to a therapist once a week. She said, Howard, everybody's going through something. It's the same kind of thing, Yeah. The only good thing is the air was so clear in Los Angeles, and there was no traffic.
Yeah.
And now all that is back again. And
the documentary, it looks like when you start to almost go stir crazy a little bit, like you got to get out and dance. It looks like, how people drive by for birthdays and they honk, because you couldn't see grandma, or you couldn't see your grandchild. So you would have these kind of drive-by birthday parties. Well, Howard, it looks like you went by and visited friends and knocked on their door and then just danced in their front yard. Is that?
Yeah, that was all my idea. So let's have drive-by dance-offs. See if I can get my friends out of the house to dance. Aww. And that was really fun too. So we had little things to do, every time. And we ran into another band that was in front of the Troubadour, the Magic Club, I think their name is. There they are. Movie Club. There's just a couple that they do instrumental music, and I just happened to run into them when we were running around all the venues. They were there, and I danced with them, and I'm on their video, they're in mine. It's like
Jason Bentley, he's KCRW's DJ there, and he speaks in the documentary, and he says, I look for Howard's spin, and by the spins that he does, if it's a 1 spin, a 5 spin, a 10 spins, that rates how great the concert's going for him. And I thought, what a great idea! Like Rotten Tomatoes, there could be at the concerts reviews, there should be a dancing Howard. How many dancing spinning Howard?
How many spins can I do?
You should trademark that, Howard. He gave you a great idea.
I did fall asleep at one show once. It was a reggae show at the Hollywood.
Oh my God.
And I fell asleep because it was so boring. I couldn't believe it. I crashed, right?
Can you imagine the band looking out and Howard's falling asleep? That would be, I would just like wrap it up and get off stage.
Just quit the business.
The Foo Fighters got mad at me because I had just had surgery on my I had some skin cancer. And I waited in line overnight for tickets. And then the next day was the concert, and I wasn't going to miss the next day I had the surgery, and it was so invasive that I took a bunch of painkiller, ibuprofen. I overdosed on ibuprofen. But when I went to the concert, I had to sit because I was just too much of a wreck.
Yeah.
I had little what is this? Hello Kitty band-aids over half of my nose. And the band called up my friend who works for the Scene Star, says, was that the dancing man? Didn't they just have, how come he's not up dancing? They were concerned why I wasn't dancing. And I had explained to them I just had surgery.
Oh, and that was the Foo Fighters, you said?
The Foo Fighters at the Canyon Club.
Yeah.
And that was a blast. But I wasn't used to the loud music. My ears were ringing for 3 days. I was really scared. I didn't think I'd be hearing anymore. But I came out of that. So
friends get mad at you sometimes and they think that you're not paying attention to the show. Are you paying attention to the shows when you're dancing?
It's kind of like my attention goes back and forth, but basically the music carries me away, and I'm looking around and see if anybody is coming up to dance with me, because I don't want to knock anybody over. I did that once. I got kicked out of the Hollywood Bowl once because I was dancing really hard, and I did a spin, and there was a waiter with food behind me, and I knocked him to the ground with my spin.
Oh no!
He didn't say behind you?
He was right behind me. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but it's just you're there you're more probably present than most, I would imagine, when
Yeah, some people
you're
say
in that, you're
if it wasn't
dancing,
for
you
you,
know, it's not that you're not
Howard, I
paying
would have been
attention.
bored at the country.
Do you have a favorite venue? I don't want to put you on a bad spot here, and you can say you don't want to answer, but do you have a venue that you love to go to more than most, or that you enjoy?
There's so many good ones. Santa Barbara Bowl's one for sure.
Mhm.
Just the drive alone, it's an hour and 15 minutes from my house in Woodland Hills. Just the drive is relaxing. And
Yeah.
then Hollywood Bowl I love because I love being down in the box area. There's plenty of room to dance and I can interact with other people. You're not strapped on those benches. When you're down in the box area, it's like you can move around and you see other people and get them to dance. And I remember one time I got this 90 guy, he was in his 90s, and I started dancing. And I got him up to dance with me, and everybody was looking and smiling. It felt so good that I could get this 90-something old guy up to dance. And I grabbed his hands and I got it. It was just the coolest thing to be able to do that for somebody, you know?
Yeah.
So I was smiling from ear
Yeah.
to ear, you know?
That is great.
The essence of what happens when I go to a show.
Mhm. You're 70.
But,
How old do you feel, Howard?
I still feel like I still feel 27, but I don't think, people say, "Oh, Howard, you're an icon and all this," and I think this.
He's holding up a sign that says, "I'm not famous." Howard, unfortunately,
Except you are.
Yeah, hell yeah. We've only got a couple minutes. I told you this is going to go too fast. I warned you yesterday, didn't I? Didn't I say this?
You totally did.
We barely scratched the surface. But there's a couple things that stood out to me and things that you said that really popped. And I was wondering if just the couple minutes we have left, if you could just define kind of in your own words for me what I bring up. Being grateful.
Yeah, I'm grateful every morning. I can wake up and I'm breathing and I can get out of bed because and that's hard sometimes. Sometimes I wake up and just getting out of the bed. I still have my water bed from the 80s.
Oh, man.
I had to change the mattress a few times, they only last like 5-6 years. But yeah, I still have it. It's got the heater. It's so great to have a heated water bed. I could never sleep on anything else. I mean, it's hard for me to go to a hotel unless it's a really, really nice hotel. But
how about being present?
Being present, yeah, being present. That's the other thing with it's hard. These things are evil. These cell phones.
They are.
They're so distracting. I could miss half the concert if I wanted to, and so I have to force myself to put the phone down. Okay, I'll take some pictures in the beginning, and then I'm going to put the phone down because I want to connect
present.
to the music.
Yeah.
And that's what I do because there's nothing like connecting to live music. The energy, the feeling, the interaction.
You can't do it through a phone.
People again,
How about define music for me? This is my last question. Just define in Howard's world music, if you can.
Music is like a higher power. It connects me to everything. Connects me to nature. I went to a sound bath once. And my knee, and they said I needed surgery on my knee. I went to the sound bath, and after the sound bath, my knee stopped hurting because the vibration was so strong, it healed my knee. And I kept thinking, I kept putting the surgery off. I go, wait, what? And it never came back. I never needed the surgery.
Wow.
So that's the power of music right there, in essence. In physical terms, I mean. Mentally, it's just another story. They say you're going to live longer when you go to live shows. Well, my God, I could live to 100 if my body will keep up with me, right? So I just wish my friends could feel like I do, and that's really hard when you get to my age. And so it's a miracle. I wake up and I'm just so happy I'm still alive and can do this and be present. And
well, if you're out there, the concerts are back. Live music is back for now, and I hope it stays this way. I hope we don't have any reversals. If you see Howard, which you probably will at one of these shows, if you're in Los Angeles or Santa Barbara or San Francisco, please go say hi and do a little dance with you, right, Howard?
That's why I like that one song. It's so much. It's basically all my all-time favorite song because it's something in the air. It's the music that's in the air.
Yeah. Howard's dancing for us. And while he does that, I want to read something here real quick. Roadies, go to roadrelief.org. The roadies right now really need your help finding work and just living. Roadies. Sorry, I can't pay it. Howard's dancing. Dancing man. Everybody out there, live and evolve, and have a great week.
All-time favorite.